guys, welcome back to my channel. So the first thing I'm going to be using is this rose water and then also the Toofaced Hangover Primer just right over top. I usually let the rose water sit for a bit just so it gives a chance for my skin to absorb it. And then I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in shade Honey. I feel like the shade would be probably too dark for me if I did a full coverage look with it, but I always apply my foundation just a little bit and disperse the color everywhere. The main thing I want with my foundation personally is a little bit of coverage with color over top, just because my face is usually a lot lighter than my body. And the next thing I'm going to be using is this NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Macadamia. I'm still trying out this concealer because I originally used the Creamy Radiant Concealer from NARS, and I really like that one, and a lot of people were raving about this product. So I decided I would try it out. For me, it's a little bit too thick. It almost goes on a little bit cakey in my opinion. It definitely is more high coverage. So I'm just trying it out in different ways to see if I end up liking it. So that's something to watch out for if you are looking to buy it. Next thing I'm going to be using is the Benefit Cosmetics HOOLA Quickie Contour Stick. This is my favorite cream contour, and I don't use this day to day when I'm doing quick makeup for school or just to run some errands. But I use this every time I go out when I really want a flawless base. I always think when I use a cream contour with a bronzer on top, it almost gives a seamlessly blended bronze, if that makes sense. It almost ombres underneath instead of just a harsher line than using just bronzer, powdered bronzer. Next, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I always dab out my concealer before I apply this. This is nothing new. I do this every time. The only powder that I have found that is as good as this is the Patrick Star and MAC Cosmetics collaboration, as well as a lot of you have been telling me like the Fit Me powder, which I'm definitely going to try out soon. Next, I'm going to be using my Benefit Cosmetics Hoola Bronzer. I don't set my whole face. I wait for my foundation to almost set itself. I wait for it to be a little bit drier, just because I don't like adding so many powders onto my face. And I lightly apply this first and then I blend it in. I like to use warm tone bronzers because I feel like cool tone bronzers look a little bit dirty on my face as well as on a lot of other skin tones. So I'm always wary about using cool tone bronzers. So I'm just using this to bronze and contour my complete face. I also go in and contour my nose just a bit. I do it on either side. I feel like this makes my nose look a little bit thinner as well. It just evens out everything. You could use a smaller eyeshadow brush to have a more defined contoured nose if you'd like. And then I'm going to be using that Laura Mercier translucent powder again, and I'm going to be putting it under my bronzer to clean up and also just sharpen the bronzer and stuff. I wipe it away afterwards, and I also do that on my nose on either sides so the bronzer isn't too far down. If it's too far down, it usually makes your nose look a little bit wider. I also do put it just on the top of my nose to make it look a little bit slimmer. The next thing I'm going to be using is the Smashbox Primer Water. I do this after I do my foundation because it gets rid of any powders and makes everything look a little bit more dewy. And then I did my eyebrows off camera. I do have a tutorial on my channel. And now I'm using the shade Isabel from the Master Palette by Mario. I'm using this as my main color in my crease. Since it is a little bit of a darker shade, you have to be really careful with blending and make sure you blend it out pretty well. But I did want my crease to be pretty dark since this makeup look is smoky. Now I'm going to use the shade Violeta. It's like a dark brown, and I'm going to go in with a more dense brush, and I'm going to first apply it, and then I realized this color is a lot harder to blend out, probably just because it's way darker and I didn't put it on carefully enough. But I'm using that same other brush that we used in our crease to blend it out. As you see, I'm having a little bit of a difficulty blending it out, but if you just keep blending and using the colors back and forth, it'll blend out nicely. And before I apply the eyeshadow on my lid, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Glitter Glue. You could use your brush for both these parts, or you could use your fingers. Usually I just use my fingers because I feel like I get the most pigmented eyeshadow with it. This part, it doesn't matter, brush or fingers, because it's just a glitter glue. and I'm using the shade Kim, and it's a dark, warm-toned gold, which I usually don't wear on my lids because I usually stick to lighter colors. But I'm just going to be putting this all over. It's not a crazy, crazy metallic shimmery color, but it definitely is a little bit shimmery. Next, I'm going to be using both the shades that I used in the crease, and I'm just going to buff that into the lower lash line to make it nice and smoky. Next, I wanted to bring a little bit of attention to the corners of my eyes, so I'm just going to be taking this gold shade and putting in the center of my eyes and also the inner corners of my lower lash line. I'm just taking an eyelash curler, lightly curling my eyelashes because I'm going to be applying eyelashes on top. And this is my favorite waterproof mascara. This is my favorite mascara in general. It's the COVERGIRL LASHBLAST Waterproof Mascara. I've said this before, but I like waterproof mascaras because they are oil-based, so they keep your lashes curled. Water-based mascaras, which are normal mascaras, are the ones that kind of make your lashes like not as curly throughout the day. So that's why I use waterproof. And off camera, I'm just going to be applying these Ardell Wispy lashes. They're one of my favorite lashes. You guys watched my last video. I am super in love with the double wispy lashes, but I did not have any. So I'm just going to be using the Ardell Wispies. And I'm just going to be using mascara on my bottom lash line and to blend in my real lashes with my fake lashes. Next, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in Driver's Seat. A bunch of you on Instagram were asking what liquid lipstick this was when I posted my photo, so this is the one. It's a super pretty color, not something I would normally wear, but still kind of is in my comfort zone, the fact that it is pink. And since I didn't use a lip liner, I was kind of messy with my application. I usually do this after regardless if I use a lip liner or not. But I especially needed it now where I'm just going to be taking a bit of concealer. I use the same I used for under my brows and also under my eyes. And I'm just going to be carving out a better lip shape, a cleaner lip shape. So I totally forgot to do this. I don't really know how. But I'm going to be applying the Maybelline Master Chrome highlight. And I'm going to be just putting that everywhere I normally highlight. And also from my BECCA Cosmetics cheek palette that I always use. It's the middle shade. If you guys watch my videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But really any pinky mauve color would be perfect. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This lip color looks awesome with when you're wearing red, but you don't want to wear like a full-on red lipstick, just like the shirt I'm wearing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a like if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in my next video.